Coffee and conversation. Our mornings began with the ritual of coffee, but they grew into something far more profound, a sanctuary of truth and understanding. I still remember that first morning, how the aroma of freshly ground beans wove its way through the kitchen, wrapping around us like a promise. You handed me the first cup, steam rising in wisps that caught the light, and from that moment, our conversations became the bedrock of our bond. We sat at our small wooden table, sunlight filtering through the curtains, casting a warm glow over everything it touched. You cradled your mug between your palms, fingers tracing the ridges where I'd chipped the edge once by accident. I noticed how you always placed the handle toward your right hand, an unconsciously neat habit I came to adore. As I sipped my own brew, robust, black, with just a hint of earthiness, I realized this coffee wasn't just a drink. It was an invitation to open our hearts. We talked about everything under the sun. Childhood memories of scraped knees and secret hideouts, the thrill of our first jobs, and the books that shaped our young minds. You shared your secret ambition to write a novel, and I marveled at your courage to speak a dream out loud. When I confessed the fears that had lingered too long in the shadows, fear of failure, of not being enough, you didn't rush to fix me. Instead, you listened without judgment, leaning forward slightly, eyes bright with empathy. In your silence, I found safety. When I hesitated to share the deeper parts of my past, you offered stillness instead of pressure, a space that said, "I'm here when you're ready." In that gentle patience, I learned the power of being truly heard. Every sip was a bridge between our hearts. You'd describe how you liked your coffee, just a splash of cream, never sugar, and I'd tease you for your fastidious preferences. I teased you about the way you always blew on that first perfect spoonful of froth before it touched your lips. Yet I soon realized that your little quirks were evidence of how deeply you cared about the details of life. You taught me that loving someone means appreciating their rituals, no matter how small. I began to anticipate your little gestures, the way you'd arrange your spoon just so, the way you'd stir exactly 7 times in a clockwise circle, and found myself cherishing each one. As our mugs emptied and refilled, our conversations deepened. We unraveled ideas about purpose and passion, challenged assumptions about success and happiness, and built dreams together, brick by brick. You illuminated my blind spots with kindness, pointing out patterns I'd fallen into without judgment. I tried to return the favor by offering perspective when you needed reassurance, reminding you of your strengths when self-doubt crept in. Those mornings, seated across from you, I discovered that a relationship isn't merely about shared experiences. It's about shared inquiry. 2 minds exploring life side by side, questioning, discovering, evolving together. I remember one chilly autumn dawn when the air smelled of damp leaves and distant bonfires. We decided to try a new blend, dark roast with hints of maple and spice. The first sip brought a quiet gasp from you, eyes widening in delight. You leaned back, closing your eyes, letting the flavor settle before whispering, "This is how warmth must taste." I watched you, utterly captivated by the simple pleasure, and in that moment, I understood that sharing a cup of coffee could be an act of profound intimacy, a way to say "I love you" without words. Even now, years later, a simple coffee date with you feels like a homecoming. The world might rush by outside, commuters hurrying to trains, cars honking at red lights. But inside our little cafe of quiet understanding, time stretches in all the best ways. The hum of the espresso machine becomes our background music. The barista's gentle call of names fades into white noise, leaving only the resonance of our laughter and conversation. Every cup we share is a reminder that love flourishes in conversation, one heartfelt exchange at a time. On those mornings when life weighs heavy, deadlines circling, obligations stacking, I find solace in the memory of our shared sips. I picture your hand reaching across the table, brushing away a stray coffee ring as you smile and say, "We'll figure it out." And in that imagined touch and tone, I feel steadied, as if nothing can truly overwhelm me so long as I have your faith. Coffee and conversation taught me that intimacy is built in ritual, kindness, and patience. It taught me vulnerability is not a weakness, but a gateway to deeper connection. It taught me to savor not just the drink, but the dialogue, the exchange of ideas, the laughter spilled between us, the comfortable pauses that spoke volumes. Because in the gentle steam that rises from our mugs, I discovered the true warmth of companionship, and in your steady presence, I found a love as rich and sustaining as the finest brew.